The film begins with Sophie and B kissing passionately. They share a romantic afternoon together, during which Sophie confesses her love for B, but B does not respond. The two head to a party during an approaching hurricane at the home of Sophie's childhood friend David. Sophie and her friends are wealthy, while B comes from an Eastern European town and has a job. Upon arriving, B explores the house while Sophie introduces her to the others. David, his girlfriend Emma, Alice, Alice's older boyfriend Greg, and Jordan. They mention another guest, Max, who left the previous night after an argument with David. The group is visibly surprised to see Sophie. Sophie talks privately with David, who reveals that Max hit him during an argument about Emma. He also brings up Sophie's time in rehab for drug addiction and questions why she decided to come. They discuss their discomfort with Alice bringing Greg, noting that he's much older and a stranger to them. Meanwhile, Jordan warns B to be cautious around Sophie. The group drinks, gets high, and begins to party as the rain starts. They play a game involving shots and slapping. When it's B's turn to slap David, her hit is too weak, so David demonstrates by slapping Greg hard, shocking and upsetting the others. The group continues partying, and Sophie becomes uneasy watching Jordan dance closely with B. Sophie suggests they play Bodies, 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 a game where players draw papers to determine a secret killer, then turn off the lights and hide to avoid being killed. B wanders in the dark with her phone and hides. After the game, Greg is found as the victim. Initially, it seems he might actually be dead, but he was only pretending after David hits him in the groin. While explaining the rules to B, David antagonizes Greg, prompting Greg to leave, saying he's going to bed. The group discusses who the killer might be, and David accuses Emma. Tensions rise when Alice reveals that Emma has complained about her relationship with David, especially their lack of intimacy. Enraged, David smashes something and storms off. As the girls continue partying, the power goes out. B goes to the kitchen and sees David stumbling against the glass door with his throat slit. The others rush outside to help, but David dies. With no signal to call for help and the car not starting, they fear there is a killer among them. They suspect Max or Greg, as both had reasons to be angry with David. Alice protests, but the group insists on searching for Greg. Jordan arms herself with a cleaver. The girls search Greg's belongings in Alice's room and find a knife and a map with the house circled. They discover Greg sleeping in the gym, wearing headphones. When questioned about the items in his bag, Greg dismisses it as a joke. However, when a knife is drawn, Greg grabs it and a struggle ensues. Emma jumps on his back, and as Greg tries to grab the knife again, B strikes him with a kettlebell, killing him. Alice is left screaming and crying. Tensions remain high as Sophie blames Emma for the chaos, suggesting Max may have killed David because of her. Sophie insults Emma, causing her to storm off. Later, they cross paths in the kitchen, where Sophie apologizes. Emma responds by kissing her, but Sophie, uncomfortable, gives Emma a bag of pills before doing some cocaine herself. Sometime later, Alice finds Emma dead at the bottom of the stairs, apparently from a bad fall. The group spirals further into paranoia, each blaming the others. Alice and Jordan accuse B of lying about her identity, claiming they discovered she didn't graduate from Utah State as she claimed. Believing B might be the killer, Alice and Jordan force her out of the house into the pouring rain, with Sophie silently watching. Desperate, B re-enters the house through a doggy door and warns Sophie that Jordan has a gun. B explains herself, admitting she attended Utah State for only one semester and works at the store she mentioned, but withheld the truth about caring for her mother, who has borderline personality disorder. A piece of paper with an X falls from Jordan's bag, marking her as the killer in their game. This leads the group to suspect she's the real murderer. Jordan pulls a gun, accusing B of lying. The argument escalates, with Jordan revealing she and Sophie slept together before arriving at the house and accusing Sophie of playing the victim over her addiction and rehab. Sophie retaliates, exposing that Jordan constantly badmouths Alice, especially her podcast. Enraged, Jordan shoots Alice in the leg. In the ensuing struggle for the gun, Jordan accidentally shoots Alice through the head. As Sophie and Jordan ascend the stairs, Jordan points the gun at her. B leaps onto Jordan, who fires wildly. During the scuffle, B throws Jordan over the banister where she is fatally impaled on broken glass. With her dying breath, Jordan tells B to check Sophie's text before firing into the air. B and Sophie hide, but B grows increasingly distrustful of Sophie and retreats elsewhere in the house. When morning comes, B surveys the carnage. Outside, she encounters Sophie, who tearfully confesses she gave Emma pills, believing Emma tripped and fell down the stairs because of it. B, now wary, takes the gun and demands to see Sophie's texts. Sophie throws her phone away, and the two fight for it, tumbling into the pool. Once out, B finds David's phone instead. On it, she discovers a TikTok video of David attempting to open a champagne bottle with a Gurkha sword mimicking Greg. In doing so, David accidentally slit his own throat. There was never a killer. The deaths were all tragic misunderstandings. Moments later, Max returns to the house, confused, and asks Sophie and B what happened. B notices she finally has phone reception. What do you think about the twist at the end of the movie? Did it catch you by surprise, or were you expecting something wild like that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, don't forget to like this post and subscribe for more content. See you next time.